In this video, we'll look at a solution for this absolute value equation involving four expressions with absolute value. In many absolute value equations, the standard practice is to consider cases that eliminates the absolute value function. In doing so, or to do so, we will consider the definition of the absolute value function. For example, the absolute value of x can be considered as the piecewise function that is equivalent to x if x is greater than or equal to 0, or negative x if x is less than 0. We can arbitrarily assign the equal to symbol to the first or second condition because it's 0 anyway, so it doesn't matter where we put this equal to sign. As an example, just for illustrating this to an actual number, for example, if we're looking for the absolute value of 4, this is just equal to 4 because 4 is a positive number, whereas the absolute value of negative 3 is equal to the negative of negative 3, which is of course positive 3. So this is how we split an absolute value function. In the case where it's not just absolute value of x and it's absolute value of x minus something like this one, we could do the same method with just a little twist. For example, the absolute value of x minus 1 is equal to the piecewise function whose components are x minus 1 if x minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0, and negative of x minus 1 if x minus 1 is less than 0. Of course, this inequality condition here can be rewritten as x greater than or equal to 1, while the other one can be expressed as x less than 1. Therefore, this inequality absolute value function here is actually equivalent to this piecewise function depending on where we assign or where we are valuing the function. If x greater than or equal to 1, then it's positive x minus 1. Otherwise, it's negative of x minus 1. Let's do the same for, let's say, x minus 4. This is equal to x minus 4 if x minus 4 is greater than or equal to 0, or x greater than or equal to 4. On the other hand, we have the other side here as the negative of x minus 4 if x less than 4. So these are the conditions or the equivalent expressions for the absolute value. We do this because we want to break this entire equation down into several cases depending on where we assign the value or where we evaluate the expressions. For example, if let's say x is equal to 1.2, which is between 1 and 2. If x equals 1.2, then this expression here will be x minus 1 because its value is greater than 1. This means that if we substitute here x minus 1 equals 1.2 minus 1, we get a positive value which is 0.2. On the other hand, x minus 2 should be negative of x minus 2 because we are looking at a value of x that is less than 2. So to get the absolute value of this, we plug it in, 1.2 minus 2. Note that the inside value is negative 0.8, such that the negative value of that is positive 0.8. So in other words, if we are evaluating this at 1.2, this is positive, this is negative, this is negative, and this is also negative. So we want to summarize all cases where each of these terms are positive, negative, and their combination. To do so, we will look at what we call the critical points for this equation. The critical points here would be x equals 1, x equals 2, and x equals 3, as well as x equals 4. These are the values here. And these values are obtained based on the analysis that we did earlier. Now the next step here would be a systematic way of evaluating the cases. To do that, we will make a table of what we call table of signs. Let's consider this number line here, where this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. Therefore, the values in this side are all values less than 1. These are values between 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, and greater than 4. So let's consider the expressions here: x minus 1, x minus 2, x minus 3, and x minus 4. These are the individual inputs to the absolute value functions that we have in the original equation. Note that if x is less than 1, this should be negative, and then everything on the right is positive. And then for x minus 2, everything to the left of 2 is negative, and everything to the right is positive. For x minus 3, everything to the left of 3 is negative, and everything to the right is positive. For x minus 4, everything to the left of 4 is negative, 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 and everything to the right is positive. An easy way to do this is just to mark where these expressions become 0. Mark this one, this one, and this one. Everything to the left of that circle are negative values, and everything to the right are positive. So we have here the case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, and case 5. In our solution, we will consider all these 5 cases to see which of them results to a positive or a value that is within the restricted constraint. Let's consider the case 1, when x is less than or equal to 1. Again, we can assign the equal to here or on the other side. Let's just say it's in here. So if you look at our table, all the expressions are negative when x is less than 1. So when we rewrite the absolute value equation, every term here should be negative. This negative of x minus 1 plus negative of x minus 2 plus negative of x minus 3 equals the negative of x minus 4. Each of them has a negative sign, so we can just cancel the negative sign for all of them. It's like dividing every term by negative 1. So we will just have a simple linear equation that is x minus 1 plus x minus 2 plus x minus 3 equals x minus 4. We simplify this by combining the like terms. We have 3x. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. The right side is x minus 4. Now combine like terms. 3x minus x is equal to 6 minus 4. 2x on the left side is equal to 2 on the right side. Therefore, x is equal to 1. Therefore, x equals 1 is a solution for this absolute value equation. The question is it really a solution? To check that, we have to go back to the condition that we set. We have set that x is less than or equal to 1. Therefore, x is equal to 1 is within this constraint. Therefore, 1 is indeed a solution. Next, we look at the second case. Let's consider case 2. And that's when x is between 1 and 2. If this is the case, if we look back here, only the x minus 1 is positive, the rest are all negative. So let's go back here. So this is x minus 1 negative plus x minus 2 plus x minus 3 is equal to x minus 4. Simplify this, we have negative x plus 1 plus x minus 2 plus x minus 3 is equal to x minus 4. Combine like terms on the left side, we have here negative x plus x, that's 0, plus x, that's x. Then positive 1 minus 2 minus 3 is negative 4. Now this is an identity because the left side is equal to the right side. Therefore, all real values of x are solutions for this one, as long as they are within our constraint. Therefore, the solution set for this case is 1 to 2. Of course, since we have arbitrarily assigned the equal to on the other side or on the other condition earlier, and we found that to be a solution as well, we can in fact make this just a closed interval 1, 2. Again, we just converted this open sign or open interval to a closed interval here because 1 is a solution anyway. Therefore, we have the solution so far as the set 1 to 2 inclusive. Next, we do the same method for case number 3. For case number 3, we have negative x minus 1 and negative x minus 2, while the right side or the other side's other terms are positive. Sorry, I think I made a mistake here. Let's look back here. In case 3, these are positive x minus 1 and positive x minus 2. So actually we made a mistake here because we made x minus 1 as the negative term when in fact it should be the positive term. So this actually should be positive, this is negative, negative, and negative. However, it doesn't matter because if we multiply both sides by negative, we are just flipping the sign. So we just get the negative here, positive here, positive, and positive on the last side. So all goes well here. We have not made a mistake here. So this solution set still holds. Let's look at the case 3. Again, I'll correct what I did. So we have here the positive term for x minus 1. So x minus 1 positive plus x minus 2 positive plus the negative of x minus 3 and the negative of x minus 4. We simplify this again. X minus 1 plus x minus 2 minus x plus 3 equals negative x plus 4. We combine like terms. X plus x, 2x minus x, that's positive x. Negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3 plus 3 is 0 equals negative x plus 4. Therefore, we have here x plus x equals 4 or 2x equals 4, giving us x equals 2. We forgot to write the solution here. 2, 2, 3. Therefore, 2 is a solution for this one. And we have found this to be a solution in the second case, so we don't have to include it again in this solution in this case. Okay, let's go to case 4. Case 4 is 3 to 4. So we have here x minus 1. We have here every function positive except the last one. So we simplify this. 2x, I'll just do it quickly. 3x, because we have been doing this since a while back, so this should be just repetitive. 4x is equal to 6 plus 4, x is equal to 10. 10 over 4 is equal to 5 over 2 equals 2.5. Therefore, a solution for this one is 2.5. However, if we look at our constraint here, x must be between 3 and 4. 2.5 does not fit that condition, therefore it's not a solution. Okay? Lastly, we go to the last part, or the last case. We have case 5 is x greater than 4. We have here all terms positive. Again, I'll just do this quickly because we have seen this before. 3x minus x equal to 6 minus 4, 2x equal to 2, x is equal to 1. Note that 1 is not within this interval, so therefore this is not a solution, at least for this case. Although we have found this already to be a solution anyway for the previous part. In the first case, we have found that here. Therefore, if we collect all cases, we see that the solution set is actually the set 1, 2. Or the interval of the interval containing all values between 1 and 2 inclusive. Therefore, the solution set here is this one. In interval as a compound inequality, we can write this as this one. Either works, whatever makes you happy. Thus the answer is 1 to 2, inclusive, and that's our final answer. It's quite a long one because I explained through the details. And I hope you learned something from this video. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe for more content.